بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم لا حول ولا قوة إلا بالله العلي العظيم الحمد لله رب العالمين وصلى الله على سيدنا ونبينا أبي القاسم المصطفى محمد وآله الطيبين الطاهرين لا سيما بقية الله في الأرضين أجل الله تعالى فرجه الشريف اللهم أخرجني من ظلمات الوهم وأكرمني بنور الفهم اللهم افتح علينا أبواب رحمتك وانشر علينا خزائن علومك برحمتك يا أرحم الراحمين. Alhamdulillah, we have tawfiq to continue our study of the classic textbook on Islamic spirituality, Awsaf al-Ashraf, by the late Khaja Nasiruddin al-Tusi. We said in this stage we discuss things that have to be with the wayfarer. We talked about irada. Irada is a kind of deep desire or yearning. And then tonight, inshallah, we will talk about shawq. In last session, we referred to shawq and we said something about shawq, and we said we are going to discuss it separately. As normal, Khaja starts with a Quranic reference. The ayah for this week is Surah Al-Hajj, ayah 54. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم وليعلم الذين أوتوا العلم أنه الحق من ربك فيؤمنوا به فتخبت له قلوبهم. Those who have been given knowledge should know that this Quran is the truth from your Lord. So people of knowledge, including people who have knowledge of previous divine scriptures, they should realize that this Quran is the truth from your Lord. It's not the word of a human being. فَيُؤْمِنُوا بِهِ, and then they should believe in it. فَتُخْبِتَ لَهُ قُلُوبُهُم, and then their hearts should become soft and humble before this. So the reason for quoting this ayah is that the ayah refers to the concept of ikhbat, which is a kind of impact of appreciation and acknowledgement of something that makes you as a result humble before something. Okay, now let us enter the main discussion. Shawq is a matter of pleasure of loving something which has not yet been achieved, has not yet been reached. When we talked about irada, we said this irada increases and leads to shawq, which is a combination of pleasure of thinking of what you want to reach, the perfection that you are seeking, but also pain of being separate from that. So in shawq, there is pleasure, but there is also pain of separation. For example, when you have knowledge and ma'rifah of Imam Zaman, Ajallallah Ta'ala Farajah Sharif, if you truly know Imam Zaman, you will enjoy thinking about him and you want to be with him. But there is also a pain. Before you meet him and reach him, there is a pain of separation now. People who don't know him, they don't have this pain of separation. Yeah? They can have their normal life. But those who know Imam Zaman, especially if they had honor of visiting him, once, then to be far from him and separate from him is very difficult. Or for example, those who have been to Hajj or those who have been to Ziyarah, then they develop a kind of yearning for going back. And it's painful for them when the season comes of, for example, season of Hajj, and they cannot go. Arba'in comes, they cannot go. It's very painful. People who have never been there, maybe they don't have this pain. But it's not that they are better or they are, in a better, higher position because they don't have this pain. This pain by itself is a sign of progress. Like, for example, when we want universal justice in the world, we don't want any human being to be mistreated. We don't want any child to suffer. Okay? So, when you see what is happening in the world, your desire for universal justice intensifies. And even thinking of having a day that justice will prevail all over the world will give you pleasure, but combined with the pain of seeing what is happening now and how far we are from universal justice. So you have shawq, you have deep desire and search and thirst for universal justice. Okay? Therefore he says, shawq is a kind of pleasure which is an implication of irada and is mixed with the pain of separation. In your wayfaring, when your irada, your desire increases, shawq is necessary. Because you want to reach and you are not there. The more you go forward, the more yearning, the more shawq you have. Till you reach the destination. Till meeting with Allah, wisa, with the beloved, liqa happens. Then shawq stops. Love continues. So the pain of separation stops, but the pleasure of being with the beloved continues and indeed intensifies. Because this was not based on superficial reasons. Therefore, Khaja says, when there is meeting, there is liqa, there is wisal, then shawq stops because there is no pain. This takes us to the next issue, which is closely connected to irada and shawq, and that is mahabbah, that is love. So because the discussion about shawq was very brief, I want to also discuss the next topic, which is mahabbah. It's very closely connected. He quotes ayah 165 of Surah Baqarah. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم ومن الناس من يتخذ من دون الله أندادا يحبونهم كحب الله والذين آمنوا أشد حبا لله. Among people, there are those who adopt partners for God. They associate partners to God. And they love them like the way they love God, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So they love Allah, they love partners also. But those who are believers, they have a stronger or a strongest love for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Indeed, in Dua Ya Arafah, Imam Hussein alayhi salam says, أنت الذي أزلت الأغيار عن قلوب أوليائك حتى لم يحبوا سواك. Awliyaullah have no love except for Allah. Anything else comes under Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So one stage is to love Allah more than other things, love Allah more than your family, children, money, etc. But the next stage, which is for awliyaullah, is that they love Allah only. But under Allah, they love everything. Because everything that has connection from Allah, comes from Allah, we should love. For example, I should love my children. I shouldn't, say, because I only love Allah, I don't love my children. But I should love my children for the sake of Allah. I should love my parents, my family, my country, my faith, my, health, whatever, but always under Allah, not as equal to Allah or, independent from Allah, even if it is less. No, only Allah, and then for the sake of Allah. Al-hubbu fillah. So, الَّذِينَ آمَنُوا أَشَدُّ حُبًّا لِلَّهِ. Those who are believers, they have a stronger love for Allah, or strongest love for Allah. And this leads to the place that they only love Allah, and everything is under Allah. So, what is mahabbah? He says, mahabbah here is meant to refer to a kind of joy, a kind of ibtihad, a kind of deep joy that is coming to you because of reaching perfection that you were seeking, or thinking that that perfection has happened. Sometimes, maybe people love something or someone because of their false imaginations. For example, they think, in this person I can find everything, or in money I can find everything. So they fall in love, but it's not really a matter of perfection. It's a matter of perfection which was conceived but not existing. It's illusion. All the people who love anything other than Allah, it's because of illusion. And Muslim mystics say that any person who has loved anyone other than God is because they felt some qualities of God exist in that person or that object. Mistakenly, for example, they want absolute power, absolute pleasure, absolute beauty. They think they can get this if they become, for example, head of a political party or head of a state, or if they have, lots of money and assets, or if they marry the most beautiful woman, they think they will have perfection, thinking that absolute beauty can be found in that woman. But when they marry, if they see another woman who is more beautiful, then they lose interest. So, if you love someone thinking that that person represents one of those ideals, indeed, your love is a misguided love for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. It was supposed to belong to Allah. You are misguided. You find it in an idol or a person or power or fame or money, etc.
Sorry to interrupt you. Can you hear me, Sheikh?
Yes.
I think somebody is saying that they can't hear you well. Perhaps you're glitching. But you can hear me, right?
I can hear you. What about others? Others can hear me?
Can you all hear Sheikh now? I can hear you.
Okay.
But it was glitching a bit for a couple of seconds, but now it's fine.
Okay. Maybe there was a problem connection. So,
Please carry.
So, mahabbah is joy which is coming to you because of perfection that you wanted is there, or you think that perfection is there. You find it in what is there, but maybe it's not real. Because our pleasure and pain are a matter of recognizing something pleasant or unpleasant, even if it is mistaken. For example, if I think that this person can harm me, and I am living with that person, for example, in a room for some time, just this thinking that this person is a harmful person causes pain. But maybe in reality this person is an angel. Or the other way around. I can be staying with a Satan and I think he's an angel. I will enjoy, not knowing that he's a Satan, till truth becomes clear. So, pleasure and pain are a matter of recognizing something as pleasant, as suitable for pleasure, or unpleasant for pain. But recognition can sometimes be guided or misguided. In any case, mahabbah is a strong desire of the soul for something that you believe has perfection. And this perfection that you conceive gives you pleasure. Mahabbah can be weak or strong. It has degrees. It's starting with thinking of something which you love and it's not available, increases, and it can continue if even after it becomes available. Unlike shawq. Shawq stops after finding, after meeting, but mahabbah continues. And as long as there is separation, there is distance between the lover and the beloved, mahabbah is there. And it can reach very strong degree, which we call it ishq. But sometimes the lover gets so close to the beloved that identifies with the beloved. Then here there is no mention of love because there is no separation. The lover disappears. When I say to Allah, I love you, it seems that still I am not there. Yeah? If I really get identified with Allah, if I am being annihilated and I am identified with Allah, I don't think of myself anymore, so that I say I love you. Of course, in Islamic literature, because it's for educating average people, you know, we shouldn't use this kind of language or expect that this kind of language is used. This is only for very special people. And even if those people have the role of guiding and educating people, the way they speak is according to their intellect. The Prophet said, نَحْنُ مَعَاشِرَ الْأَنْبِيَاء نُكَلِّمُ النَّاسَ عَلَىٰ قَدْرِ عُقُولِهِمْ. We speak to people according to the level of their understanding, according to their intellect. So, don't be surprised when you hear these things, or don't expect everyone then talking in this way. There are different degrees, different levels, and what can be good for one level can be not acceptable if someone is higher. Hasanatul abrar, sayyatul muqarrabin. In any case, if there is unity, then mahabbah stops because there is no separation anymore. And then he says, philosophers have said that mahabbah is sometimes fitri and sometimes kasbi. Means sometimes mahabbah is there by creation, by the virtue of creation, this mahabbah exists. Sometimes you have to obtain it, acquire it. Mahabbah by the virtue of creation can be even in non-living beings. Muslim philosophers and mystics, for example, Ibn Sina in al-Isharat wa Tanbihat, Ibn Arabi in his books on Irfan, they have this idea that love and ishq are available in all creation. Ibn Sina says, Sarayanul ishq. Ishq is like air which is available everywhere. Even a stone, even air, even water, even trees, they have love. But their love is not the same as human love. But they have also their own love for perfection and for absolute perfection, which is Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. They have love for their own ideals, for their own ends or ghaya. And the forces of their nature move them towards that because there is desire for that. But more clearly you find this in animals. Then they get acquainted with each other when there is love of the mother for children, etc., or the pairs. And the most obvious, of course, is in human beings. Mahabbah in human beings. The way to acquire mahabbah is in three things. One is a pleasure, that when you get from something a pleasure, you love it. For example, if you eat a food and you find it delicious and gives you pleasure, you love that food, you want to have it again. If you listen to a beautiful recitation, your ear enjoys, you love it and you want to have it again. The second thing that leads to mahabbah is benefit. When you can benefit from something. For example, you read a book and you find it beneficial. You take, I don't know, some supplements and you find it beneficial for your health, for example. You go to a place and you find it beneficial for your rest. This also causes mahabbah. And the third thing is resemblance. When two people resonate with each other or resemble each other in their character, in their behavior, in their thinking, then their company gives pleasure to each other.
Absolutely. Beautiful point that you've made.
Yes. Therefore, in Farsi poet, it says that Nariyan, Marnariyan ra jazab. Those who are people of fire, they attract each other. Those who are people of nur also attract each other. Yeah? Sometimes when you find a like-minded person or person that resonates your character, maybe he's higher than you, she's higher than you, for example. But if there is resemblance, you want to spend time together, and sometimes you don't feel passing of time. But if someone doesn't resonate with your expectations and desires, etc., it's a torture to be with them and talk to them and spend time. You have to force yourself to be patient. And then there can be also a combination of these three, three of them exist in something. So something can give you pleasure, at the same time can be beneficial, and at the same time can have resonance and resemblance. Okay, so sometimes more than one cause can be there for mahabbah. Mahabbah also needs ma'rifah. Because if you don't know something and you don't know its benefits, you don't have any experience of it, then you are not going to love it. You cannot love something that you are totally ignorant about. Okay? And some people have said many of our qualities relate to mahabbah. For example, hope, raja, khashya, shawq, uns, انبساط, tawakkul, rida, taslim. They say all are outcomes of mahabbah. How? So, when you think of the mercy of your beloved Allah, hope is coming. When you think of His greatness, then khashya comes. When you think that you have not reached your beloved Allah, shawq is there, the pain of separation. When you reach, then uns is there. Uns is to be acquainted with. When you have a lot of acquaintance with Allah, then enbisat, you become very joyful person. Nothing is bothering you. When you have trust in Him, tawakkul comes. When you find everything that He does is great and beautiful, then you will develop reza, contentment. And then when you think that you don't have any knowledge, any power compared to Him, so you submit everything to Him, taslim comes. So everything is coming out of mahabbah. And he says the true mahabbah, the true love, is very close to taslim, to surrendering yourself or submitting yourself to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Because the beloved gains the control, and you will be under the control of the beloved. Ishq also has close relation with fana, annihilation. Because the lover only sees the beloved and doesn't see himself. Even doesn't think about his health, doesn't think about his sleeping, just thinks about the beloved. So, the end of journey is that you manage to turn away your attention from anything other than beloved. Everything goes back to Him. وَإِلَيْهِ يُرْجَعُ الْأَمْرُ كُلُّهُ. In Surah Hud, verse 123, Allah says, everything, every affair goes back to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So, alhamdulillah, in this way, we completed the discussion about shawq and about mahabbah. Inshallah, next session, we will talk about ma'rifah, and then yaqeen, certainty, and then sukoon, serenity. So, ma'rifah, certainty, and serenity. These are the next three topics, inshallah. And then this stage finishes, we go to the fifth section of the book, inshallah. Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alamin.
Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alamin. Jazakumullah Shaykh.